morning children. So we were doing the chapter Kings, Farmers and Towns. Now in the last topic we were doing that Ashoka wrote all those inscriptions. We got Ashoka's inscriptions and from there we had a good knowledge about Ashoka. Now when Ashoka wrote the inscriptions which were found in the Afghanistan, we have seen that he used there the Aramaic language and used the Greek scripts there. What does it mean? That the most of the people in the northwestern frontier, that is Afghanistan and all, they might be speaking Aramaic language, so his inscriptions were in the Aramaic language. That means the local language was there. If you come to India, then you will find that most of the scripts were what? That was in Prakrit. So that means that the local people of India at that time could understand the Prakrit language, so his scripts were written in Prakrit. Now from all these things, lot of inscriptions and all, we got the ideals of the Mauryan Empire. Now a very big question is, what about the administration? Did the administration in all the places were same? Yeah, it's a very big question. Now very amazing thing, a wonderful thing you will find that when you see Megasthenes Indica, that is the source of all this thing, here you will find that the same thing which was found in the Patliputra capital, the rules which we find in the inscriptions in Patliputra, that is the capital, the present day Bihar, the same thing you will find, the same notation, same instructions were given at the provincial states. The provincial states means like Taxila, Ujjain, Suryanagari. That looked, why it was called as Surnagari? Because it looked like golden mountains. It is in Andhra. Now if you see the Taxila, that is the border of Pakistan, Afghanistan. Then if you come to Ujjain, that is the Madhya Pradesh. It's the Andhra Pradesh. Everywhere. If you find the inscriptions in all these places, you will find the time, the rules, the instructions, the same, the date, the time. Now how it was possible to get all the instructions at the same time? That there was, during that period, we do not have any flights, we did not have train. The people used to walk, by foot they used to go, or they used to go by the rivers. The communication can be done by the two ways, or there were no other ways. So if you talk about the foot or if you talk about the river, that also might be they have taken 3 days or 1 week or 15 days. But how the things were found, the same things that we found in the capital Patliputra, the same instructions, the date and time, the same in all these provincial states. Really, the historians do not know that how this was done. It's a very, but it's a fact. We have seen it. How we can deny that fact? Because it was written in by Megasthenes also, we have found that. The sources from the inscriptions and all. Now we will come that how the empire, how they administered the thing. We are coming to the next topic, but till that, wait for 5 minutes, let me get up the board and tell you. So I was talking about the administration. So it's a vast empire. If you think from the northwestern frontier, you will see the coastal regions of Odisha, then you will see Uttarakhand, then you will see Andhra. These were all under the control of the Mauryan Empire, and that vast empire spread during the time of Ashoka. Now this vast empire, how he handled this vast empire, it was a very big question that how he managed all the things. So when we are talking about the inscriptions which we found, the pillars, how the things were at the same time, same day, same date, how it reached to those places, there are lots of questions arises when we talk about Ashoka and how all these things were done. When we see that book Indica, that is the source of history of the Mauryan Empire, which was written by Megasthenes, and you know that he was a Greek ambassador, that means it also gives us to understand one point that the Mauryan Empire was more and more influenced by the Greek people also. Now when we see the Megasthenes source, we see that he has said that the Mauryan Empire was divided into committees committees were again divided into 6 sub-committees. Now this 6 sub-committees, what it was? First it was Navy. That means through the coastal and the river, right? The people used to, the soldiers used to move through those areas to conquer the places. So that was the Navy, and that was the first one they used to take care of. Second, manage of transport and provision. You will see that this is a vast one, the second one. That is, the Mauryan Empire had to take the transport. Transport here means the bullock cart, to arrange the bullock carts to send the soldiers from one place to another place. The bullock carts were needed to pass the food for the soldiers from one place to another. Fooders for the animals. All these things were managed by the second subcommittee, that is transport. And we have talked about the provision. Provision means today which we say about the general stores. General stores means the daily items that we price, whatever it was, they have to keep it in store and they have to serve to the people. They have to carry those things to the villages. They have to give it to the soldiers, because this was very, very important. So manage of transport and provision, it was the vast subcommittee which they have to take care under them. Next was the foot soldiers. They need the navy soldiers as well as the foot soldiers, because they have to go to cross the mountains, the forest and all, and they had to conquer those places. So there were the need of the foot soldiers to look after these soldiers. The second subcommittee, that is this provision, used to take care so that they should not have any problem of their food. So this food was supplied from the second subcommittees. The fourth one is horse. The horses were needed for the warfare. So for the horses, they need the fodder. The people who used to look after the horses, that also was taken care by the Mauryan Empire. So this was also that how these animals and all this will be getting their foods, how they can manage the things, that also was taken care by the second subcommittee, that is transport and provision. Next is chariots. Chariots, you know that the king used to often go for the hunting and all other things. So for that they need the chariots. For the war also sometimes they need the chariots. So that was also taken care, that they should be in proper condition. They should be maintained properly. So that was also taken care by the second subcommittee. And the last one is the elephants. They used to take the elephants from the nearby forest. The people who used to take care of the elephants, they have to be given proper food, fodders and all. So the provision was the vast one. They have to take care of all those things. And remember children, when we are talking about the elephants, you will find that in the whole Indian history that it was the first time that the elephants were used for warfare. Before that, the elephants were not used. But in during the time of Mauryan period, you will find that the elephants were used, and those things, all these committees, 6 sub-committees, the main is the manage of the transport and provision. They have to take care that nothing there should be a problem in that. Now children, if you compare with today's government, that is parliament, have you seen that there are the different departments, they are working on the different issues and all? No one is taking care of any one thing. There is army is a different, telephone is a different, all these transport communication, same thing. If you see that this one is also like the same thing what we are following in present situation. So these 6 sub-committees were done during the time of the Mauryan Empire, which we get from where Mughal cities. In the next video we will read about the Chanakya's Arthashastra also. Till that, read up to this much. Thank you children.